Good evening, and welcome back to Savannah by Night, our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle here on Knights of Silvermoon, where normally there's a lot of D&D, but Aaron doesn't know I've snuck into the channel to do things, so we're doing vampires and mishaps. Mostly mishaps. There's occasionally some vampires involved. Normally you can find Tuesday and Thursday as our D&D games, and the occasional Friday as our Star Wars game. Martel, when do we have another one of those coming up?
Graham, that is such a good question. I wish I could tell you the answer, but we are still deliberating.
So what you're saying is a Star Wars game could be any Friday from a certain point of view.
So you should honestly tune in every Friday just to make sure, because you wouldn't want to miss it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a long, long time from now in a galaxy far away.
But in lieu of that, we do have, I believe, this Friday, our Orphix in Space pre-recorded sessions that we're sort of cobbling together. And you can kind of see some side story stuff and some epilogue stuff. And then
don't miss out on the fact that you get to go to the moon in that episode.
I was going to bring that up via letting the session play out for itself.
Discretion, Miss Fulton.
But the other viewers tend to know because the last episode we played was him being on the moon already. So, but there's other space shenanigans that we're going to be talking about as well, with Sonder getting to do some stuff in some of his side quill shenanigans. But then on Thursday, we will be having our Age of Innovation, which is Victorian steampunky hilarity, where all good things happen in the German countryside. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. But are there any other announcements that we should get through?
I do have one announcement. So this Friday is also a very special day for another reason. Our Toreador Supreme is not getting another year older, but another year more glamorous, more fantastic, more ready to throw it back. Our beloved Helena is having a birthday on Friday.
I'm gonna be dirty. Don't tell anyone.
Dirty.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
Welcome to the club. Your icy hot awaits. It will be delivered at some point this weekend.
It's literally
Can't
like the
wait.
next day. It's crazy.
You should shop in bulk.
Oh no. Can't wait.
And like a bulk pack of multivitamins too.
Already on the multivitamin vibe. Just started too. I'm trying to get ahead of the game a little bit.
That
Also-
Flintstones chewable from 1988 isn't doing the job anymore.
Also,
Promise
already
except
got
Flintstones.
ahead of getting them a chair with back support, so.
I have
Mm.
lumbar.
All right.
Yeah.
Before I start going down the rabbit hole of Office Space quotes, I think we're going to have to jump into telling a vampire story tonight. So, see you after the credits. Last time on Savannah by Night, Tabitha decided to bridge the gap between herself and Ellie by giving them the contact information of all the new neonates in an effort to both make amends and solidify an ally in the same lack of social strata. Whether or not this truly made everything right with Ellie is anyone's guess, but they did bring Tabby to a more cloistered section of the Warrens where she could acquire at least a partial meal. Though it came with a caveat from Orson, the broodmaster, to fetch things in order to replenish his garden of putrescent pitcher plants. However, it would be up to Tabby's own creativity on how to effectuate that requirement. Ellie took them into town after setting up a blackmail drop with a politician considering their secret family. The non-statesman in question did not arrive himself, and instead sent an aide as their proxy with a messenger bag of hush money. Ellie saw this as ignoring the clear, simple instructions they had issued. So as to send a clear message, they decided to feed on the over-caffeinated staffer, not take the money, and surreptitiously release a story of the affair to the media. During all of this, Tabby had come up with the truly heinous idea of how, where, and what to bag up and bring to Orson. Kate wandered down to a historical bar not more than a few blocks from her front door, with the aim of both familiarizing herself with her immediate vicinity and to add to her meal stock. It wasn't long until she was chatting up a relaxed but personable grunge rock enthusiast named Barry. Commiserating over past concerts they were both dragged to, Kate had managed to give the man enough signs of her interest that he seemed more than happy to walk her the relatively short distance home. Making use of the privacy of her own brick-walled front yard, Kate lured the man for an enticing kiss that left him feeling dizzy in more than one way. She soon poured him into a ride share and began to get ready for the rest of her evening that would surely prove far more unsavory. Poppy peeked at two intimately private books in one evening. The first was by invitation from Clarice. Despondent after the previous night sapped what emotional energy she could muster and quietly repose on a chaise. Flipping through pages of a pristine yet clearly handmade scrapbook, a myriad of photographs, posed and mutually candid, spanning more than half a century of both her and a now long-dead Nosferatu she still clearly carries a torch for. The second was from Poppy curiously snooping around the dorm room of a mousy art college student she was trying to ensnare. Finding the Oshkosh girl's sketchpad, Poppy began to flip through uninvited, paralyzing the young woman with the fear of being seen and judged. Though instead of being scandalized by the paradoxically lurid imagery, Poppy seemed even more engaged, if nothing else than by using it as a vector to which to lure the co-ed into proper feeding distance. Cora awoke for the first time in her own haven, unfurnished and unremarkable, but still property in her name. Taking the opportunity, the young Malkavian began to explore her surrounding neighborhood. And while there were homes and businesses in varying degrees of disrepair, it was the ultra-Americana of a classic diner that caught her attention. However, she also caught the attention of the enigmatic driver that many of our neonates have had self-reflective conversations with. A simple discussion about the absurd paradigm of vampires eating regular food soon turned into philosophical exposition, and their reminder to serve the masquerade by fitting in through any means necessary, no matter how unpalatable the experience may be, leading Cora to test her own humanity and the level of her curse through ordering the burger. I think it's only appropriate that we pick up from that exact point. You have been here before. A single stand table that is not your own, bolted to the cheap vinyl flooring in a town that is not your own. Ordering off a weathered, laminated menu that smells vaguely of bleach and shattered dreams. With every freeze frame of lifting the food to your face, it is some other simultaneously undercooked and overcooked melange of prior meal experienced in the many throwaway roadside establishments scattered across continental Europe. Your clothes change on every beat. The weather, the lighting. The booth shifts and morphs in sometimes subtle and sometimes jarring ways. But that window, always the same, but offering a view to 1,000 experiences you were denied, or that you denied to yourself. Cities, cultures, romantic interludes, all pass you by like the weather moving in time lapse. Lives you will never know, versions of you that are complete, some that are devastatingly broken, but at least they lived, while you stayed static, stagnant, stuck repeating the same lap again and again and again and again.
How long does this last?
For as
Can I
long as you would
tell?
like it to.
I'd like to get up and go to that window and look out at all these lives. Or shuffle, slide down the booth. Both of them, because every place is a little bit different.
You would need to slide within the booth that you're already sitting at to touch the window as a epic dark pop version of Tom's Diner plays in the background.
Scheiße. I think Cora begins to tear up, and then she'll slam her hand on the table.
As if reacting to the musical cue, or like snapping the soundboard when filming, you've cut back to reality, or at least some semblance of it. Your eyes are dry, but that sound had reverberated around you, and you do see the waitress from behind the counter craning her neck in your direction. He turns and looks over his shoulder, waves it off. He looks at you. He takes a long, audible sip of the coffee, once again betraying whether or not he enjoys it, if he can taste it, or if it's just wonderful smelling acid in his mouth. Finally, he looks at you. Where did you go?
Nowhere I'll ever be.
Hmm.
Excuse me 1 minute.
Mm-hmm. Cora gets up.
Yeah. I'll place some money on the table and walk outside
Mm-hmm.
hurriedly.
Do you go to the front of the diner and just lean against the window?
Mm.
Or do you go to the more the back of the place, trying to stay hidden?
I think I'll go to one of the windows and I'll lean and I'll just look out like I'm still searching for those lifetimes I saw.
Mm. You are perhaps slightly hypnotized by the passing of car lights, casting reflections of pedestrians in scattered refractions, leaving them indistinct and multiplied. Perhaps that's what you were seeing. Perhaps that's what your experience is projecting you to see now. There's no way to be sure.
Pace for a minute.
Hmm.
Go around to the back instead.
You can still hear a little bit of traffic, but it is muted. Are you sitting on the ground? Are you leaning against the wall?
They're a little like loading dock or something to sit on a curb.
Yeah, like not so much a curb itself, but you know how some parking lots have those little like at the front of the parking space, those little bumps.
Yeah, the like
I don't know what you call them.
don't run into the building.
Yeah.
Not a bollard thing. Yeah. I'll sit
So
on
there's
that.
some of those you could sit on.
Okay.
You're just gonna sit there for a little bit.
Maybe talk to herself a little bit.
Mm.
It's Savannah, Georgia, USA. And it's what? August 6, 7, something.
Your phone pings. It's Heinrich. Any news yet?
Still getting myself sorted.
So just to be clear, you don't tell him that you have a place.
I think Cora wants to see it again first.
Fair enough. While she is... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
While I'm assuming she is staring at this, deciding if she's going to answer it or how, the rear door of the diner opens from a staff entrance. That same waitress steps out and lights up a cigarette. At first, she doesn't see you, and she simply takes in a long drag, leans her head back, and exhales a necessary plume as if trying to exercise her own nightly stress.
Do you have another one of those?
She reaches into the same sort of coin purse built into the diner dress uniform, and where you'd expect all the change to be, and she takes out one cigarette and she hands you a little simple Bic lighter.
Cora is going to take the lighter in the hand that she had previously held into the sun and light the cigarette.
Now the question is this something that Cora knows how to do, or is this something she's emulating?
This is emulating.
Okay. Is there a goal in mind, or is she trying to emulate this woman's own stress relief?
Basically, right? It's like,
Mhm.
well, it seems to do something for her.
Mm-hmm. Your own sympathetic and autonomic processes, in comparison, actually work when other kindred have to force it, will it. Like being aware of breathing on manual, aware of your own nose. It is a conscious effort. For you, it's background, most of the time. You would almost feel the tickle of someone who's unfamiliar with smoking, who would prompt you to start a coughing fit. But there's just enough of a muted sense to all those systems that you can stifle the urge. Perhaps able to hold that down a lot easier than it would be to hold down a burger. Because at least your lungs are still functioning.
I think Cora probably does cough a little.
Mm. Not your brand?
So, it's one way to put it, yeah. Sure, I made your night plenty awkward.
Oh, if you think that's the most awkward thing I've ever seen working here.
Oh, good.
Is he bothering you?
Him? No. No, it's just the night, just trying to just figure things out for myself.
Yeah. Join the crowd. She gives this very practiced, very bitter flick of the cigarette.
So you're telling me this isn't the sort of thing that you were dreaming of doing?
She gives you this long, deadpan stare. This wasn't at the top of my list on career day, no.
shake some ashes from the tip of the cigarette that she's holding. Getting used to working nights, so I'm sure I'm a little thrown off.
First time?
Yeah. Yeah, for the foreseeable future, I think.
Okay. Bit of advice. You ever heard of a sad lamp?
I'm sorry, what?
Now, someone in the audience might have to correct me on this because I'm trying to remember exactly. It's seasonal disaffective disorder,
Seasonal affective
Affective.
disorder.
affective disorder,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You need something that's going to stimulate daylight if you're not going to see it much anymore.
Okay. So what, just go on Amazon?
I'm sure a smart girl like you can figure it out.
There's something ironic about looking for something called a sad lamp, trying to be happy, huh?
I mean, it's either that or get used to neon. Which, if you're remembering the picture of the interior, is that awful green and orange running light across the ceiling.
That lamp it is.
So, do I go and tell him that the burger was bad or what?
Yes. It was fine. I just upset myself.
Yeah, see a lot of that here too.
Delightful customers.
The laugh doesn't quite reach your eyes, but there's a certain creasing to laugh lines that are there long before they should be on a woman her age. Looking at her features, her stance and everything, she's about college age.
Do you go to school during the day, and this is what you do otherwise, or?
She gets a little more 1,000-yard starey. She's more ahead rather than at you. I don't really have the time for it anymore.
Yeah, a job can really take things over sometimes.
The job's not the problem. Paying rent is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's at least I'm not going to have trouble affording mine. I guess, you know, a hole in the ground is something.
Well, I never thought I'd see a hobbit come through here, but Rule 34 is alive and well in Savannah, I guess.
I don't have hairy feet, come on. And
she like briefly looks down, like I need to get back to work.
Thanks for this.
Tip your servers.
Oh, right, that's a thing here.
Forgot about that aspect. But you did leave cash on the counter.
Hmm.
I assume you had handed the lighter back to her at some point.
Yeah. I guess
The question,
if not earlier
Hmm.
during the exchange,
Mhm.
as she's going back in.
the question I have for you then is, you have no reason to go back inside if you don't want to. The question is, do you want to?
I think Cora just wants to look ahead at this point.
Mm.
She may go back to that diner again. But it was a yeah, I'll just go for a walk.
Okay. Do you go anywhere in particular, or are you meandering back home?
I'll just meander.
Okay.
I know the park's nearby, some other little shops.
Okay. Would it be all right if we pulled the camera back from there for a moment and we check in on Cora a little bit later?
Sure.
Okay. Now, I believe it is time to pick up with our woe-begotten gangrel. So you have doing some work on the house.
Yeah. Also,
bits and
could use a
pieces.
bite. So,
Mhm.
maybe
So
go-
we'll get to that in just a moment.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular order of operations you'd like to get to, other than the feeding, of course?
Not particularly. The stairs is what we were working on, if I
Mhm.
recall, and we should have put in an order for some stuff. It might have been yesterday, so maybe it's not here yet. But if the tools are here, we'll start work on that. If not, we
Mhm.
might just do some yard stuff.
There's always something that you could be doing. It
Yeah.
may not be the immediate thing that you want to get done, and it may not be in the order you want it to be done. But you've also gotten the impression, while Alden has his preferences on what you could focus on, he's not ignorant to the reality of things. And as long as you are working at it and you're not shirking, he doesn't seem to have much of a problem. Other than once or twice when he walked into a room and you were doing something to it and he had to walk out again.
Mm-hmm. I think that was Chris most of the time, actually.
But that too. But of course, you wake up later than everyone else that you share that land with. You find Alden sitting on his porch. A chair that wasn't there before, but one you recognize from inside the house. An old rocking chair. It's seen better days, but it's in better condition than a lot of other furniture. A little bit of attention, it could be pristine again.
Mm-hmm. We might have looked at that last time too, actually.
Well, add it to your tally.
Mm-hmm.
He's very languidly rocking on it. Orion is sitting up high, but just high enough so that the hand is resting easily on top of the dog's head.
How's it going, boss?
You tell me what's on the agenda tonight.
Mm,
He's actually handing you that cup of tea,
nice.
one that you know is not quite spice, but there's something to it.
Yeah.
That little whiff of home in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same, but claws at you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take a sniff. I'm probably not going to drink it anymore because trying to keep that a secret on the DL a little bit.
But he also knows.
He does, yes. But I don't know how good Chris is at keeping secrets. It seems like she's actually very bad at it. So
There are others in your immediate orbit that are
right. Yeah, so I'll take a sniff, give him a nod, thanks, hand it back, and basically say, well, if the order came in, we'll start on the stairs today. If not, he kind of looks around at the land. Plenty to do outside.
Chris has been in an interesting mood.
How so?
She's not in one.
Oh. That's good, right?
Better than the alternative. So far, it seems you haven't been a bad influence, so I'll call that a win for now.
Yeah, we've been, I don't know. It's like you said, socializing.
He looks around the grounds. Tessa said she talked to you.
Yeah. Last night.
How'd that go?
I think it went okay.
She said you were looking at meeting up.
Yeah. Hoping to learn a bit more about what she does and how she does it. She seems like a pretty interesting person.
There are few in this city, if anyone at all, that can rival her particular skill set. If that's something you wish to learn, she would be the best one to do it.
Well, hopefully I'm up for it then.
I'm sure she'll find out soon enough. He looks around the grounds a little bit, and there has been work done since you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be as noticeable for you, but for someone who's probably sat on that porch a lot, even subtle differences are large ones. Have you fed yet?
Not for a day or two.
Starting to feel the claws at the back of your eyes.
A little bit. Probably should take care of that.
Take care of that and then get out of here for the night.
All right. Sounds good to me. Let me know if you need anything.
explore a bit. A gangrel that doesn't know the land, bound to get killed.
There's wolves out here, right? Anywhere I should avoid in particular?
Swamps, in general. But spend a bit of time. Even that's not insurmountable. Not a good idea for your first week.
Sure.
Some of the denser forests, be mindful of. There's not many, but you still don't want to run into one. But if you do, and you manage not to get yourself killed in the process, you tell me first, and I will deal with it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Now, because you've done a fair amount of on-screen feeding, we're going to leave this to a roll rather than dedicate an entire scene to it, so we can get to the meat of your narrative tonight. So we're going to go with survival, but I want you to make an argument of which ability you'd like to use.
So I think perception, just being, aware of my surroundings, understanding, how to pick up on where there's going to be things that I can eat. Having done this, for at least a couple of years, rely on my, my ability to sense these things, or potentially wits for essentially the same reason. Both of those are the same. I'd take either one.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't really matter which one at this point.
Then I'll go ahead and go with perception because it's all kind of new and I'm still trying to figure everything out.
Because you're looking for a scent or tracks.
Yeah.
And you're trying to anticipate and plan. And because you're not used to this exact land, but you are at least used to the task itself. You've had to do this for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have you roll it at a difficulty of 6. Actually, no, I'm going to bring that down to a 5.
Okay.
Because this is something you are fairly competent at.
That mattered. Hey, damn. Ooh, okay. Got 2 10s, 4 successes so far. And 4 successes.
Okay. How far down your blood pool are you? Did you spend one for tonight to wake up?
I thought I had. I guess I didn't save. I have now. I am at -4.
Okay. How long do you spend doing this? A good hour? Maybe a little longer?
Yeah, I mean, if he wants me to...
Wasn't saying get your shit and get out, but just sort
Yeah.
yourself out and then get going.
Right. I mean, so I guess what I was thinking was I'd kind of make it a part of exploring. So
Okay.
maybe more than an hour, honestly. Maybe like 2 or
Okay.
even 3. And it's it's not just hunting, it's also like
Okay.
getting my bearings.
Mm-hmm. Learning through an exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say because you rolled real damn well that you should get the 4 back in this instance. You're spending time, you're rolled well, you're, let's say, consolidate as much as understanding your territory.
Mm-hmm.
You're knowing which animals that you can kind of just drain dry, and it's not going to be a big deal that you're not going to deplete that animal in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the ones that you can take a bit of a swig of and then just let them run.
Yeah.
Like a gator. And other ones, it's pest control. And having lived in the forest, you know very quickly which is which.
Yeah.
So you're good. You might want to pop a breath mint before you go out into the city.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to appear human, you may want to use more blood.
Yeah. There's no reason to do that right now, though I'm always kind of like,
If you do it now, it lasts the whole night
yeah.
rather than reactive later.
Right. I guess he's always trying to save Artem. He doesn't want to use it unless he has to. So he is on the lookout, like, just in case he runs into a person so he can do it reactively. But like right now his plan is, I mean, I guess his plan was to just work on the house. Alden told him to screw off, but like he still doesn't have any plans that involve people yet. So
he does have a couple of calls or texts to make.
That is true. Yeah, we might as well just pop it then. All right. We are human. Human.
So there was 2 women that he talked to at the at Elysium the prior night. Which one does he try to talk to?
Tessa Stratton.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured. Do you call her or do you text her?
You know, I might actually take Yvette's advice here and give her a call.
Oh, that's just delightful. So, you're calling Tessa?
Yep.
Hello?
Hey, it's Artem. Are you free tonight, or at least?
You may want to move that away from the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Hey, it's Artem. Are you available tonight?
I can make room. You have to get across the county tonight if you want to meet up.
I can do that.
Good. I'll have the direction sent your way.
Thank you.
A few moments later, you receive an address that is indeed on the opposite side of the county. You're going to have to book it.
All right, well, let's book it.
Now, for those who have not seen a map of Chatham County before, you are currently on the water's edge, close to the where the mainland ends just before it becomes a chain of islands. You would have to go sort of northwest-ish inland to where it becomes more farmland, more forest, more sparsely populated. The further you head out of the city, the fewer buildings and lights. Two things would occur to you. For a moment, the sparseness would remind you of the human home, that area that you grew up in. And as it becomes less and less, and you see more trees, you might be forgiven for thinking, for a moment, you're heading home. But then tree line gives way to power lines. A house in the distance that you eventually pass. Another mailbox that you pass. Eventually, a long country road leads you up to an estate that looks like it was once a plantation that has since been rejuvenated, modernized. You have to park in a nicer corral than maybe you would see at Elysium proper, due to the fact that it needs to serve so many. Whereas here, this is more cultivated. A long canopy of trees overhangs a brick walkway from where you have to park to a well-kept plantation house. And even as you are walking along that path, you see a few dogs scurry around the grounds, flitting in between the trees. Some of them solo, but some of them becoming packs, splitting off and reforming. Almost as if one giant yet independent organism.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to ask, because when he was at home with Zoya, even when she wasn't there, he always kind of felt her presence in all of the beasts. Is he maybe getting a similar vibe from this, or is it just not quite the same?
You could project that, but it would be hard to know for certain one way or
Sure.
the other.
Okay.
But as you do get a bit closer, you don't get to go up and ring a doorbell. Instead, a man in his late 30s, early 40s steps out, and Tessa steps out from behind him. He lets out a whistle, and he seems to almost have... I'm trying to think of the actual term for this, because it's not a riding crop, but it is a way to get like a dog's attention sometimes. Especially more of a kennel thing, where he taps his thigh, it gets their attention, and several of them flock to him as he leads a few of them around the back of the house. All very orderly, none of them jumping up and down excitedly. But she looks to you, and as you get closer, you see she's wearing almost like a riding jacket, but more rustic, like a muted red. More almost riding boots, but again, rustic. In a way, there's a bit of that transplanted landed gentry look to her. Not that Artem would really know what that is,
Mhm.
but in comparison to the few gangrel that he knows, it's almost regal. Well, I see you found the place.
How are you doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for asking.
This place is pretty amazing.
I'm glad you like it. I spent a lot of time making it what it is. Practically a ruin when I found it. No shame, or there would be a shame in allowing this place to get completely overtaken by nature once again. It's already here. Make use.
Well, sounds like you wouldn't need much help, but if you ever need extra hands, I'm happy to assist with that.
Well, I suppose before I say anything to that, we should test your aptitude. Tell me, what's the biggest creature you've gotten to do your bidding?
What's bigger, an alligator or an elk?
Depends on either, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember the first one being pretty fucking big, but
Was it an elk or a moose? I'm trying to remember now.
I think it was a moose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moose are tanks, so let's go with that.
Yeah. A moose.
Really?
It was my first, well, second feed. First solo. It was my second feed.
Did you kill it?
No. Wait, did I? I don't think I did. You know what? No, I didn't kill the first one. I did kill the second one. So, yes.
Well,
not something I do often.
Well, at least you're not stupid. I'm not going to be having you feed off of any of mine this evening. But we'll see what you can actually accomplish with any of them. And she lets out this whistle yell that is becomes like a more guttural version of like the Xena sound. And this absolutely jacked Rottweiler runs up. Like the Artem of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Ramrod straight posture. And it just appears at her side. It does not sit down on its haunches. It almost sort of briefly presses its shoulder into her thigh. And that's its seeking of approval. And she does reach down and she gives it one little pat across the top of the head, across the ears, and then she stops. It's not fawning adulation, it's she has noticed. She's accepted. She will snap her fingers, point down. The dog immediately sits. This is Laredo. Well, show me what you can do.
Right? Artem doesn't think he can do anything without powers, so he's going to try to catch Laredo's eye, and he's going to try to get him to basically come up to him and then like sit and look up. So this is Animal Ken and Charisma.
Which level is this?
1.
Okay, so this is just Feral Whispers.
Yeah, just Feral Whispers.
Okay. So you're trying to command him, right?
Yes.
Okay. So... I would say it's just a 6.
Okay. I think I'm going to spend a willpower too.
Okay.
So we've got 1 automatic.
Might be a good idea if you want to impress her.
Might be a good idea if I want to succeed. All right. Oh, okay. And okay. That's ended up being 3.
Nice. What is the exact nature of your command?
Basically, I just want him to walk from her to me, sit down and put out his paw. A little handshake.
Okay. You have to break this down into a series of steps. You can't give a long instruction and then tell him go.
Yeah.
It's do this. Okay, you've done that. Now do this.
Do
okay,
this,
now do
yeah.
this.
Okay.
So it's, if you've paid attention to dog shows, it's a little like you are encouraging them through the little obstacle course. One little gimmick at a time. So at first you are beckoning Laredo. Is it forceful or is it more of an ask?
We'll say it's more of an ask. I think Artem is typically, unless he feels like he's in danger, he doesn't do forceful with animals.
In general, with him, I've noticed he's fairly relaxed. He's not trying to put his ego down on the table. So this tracks. It's more, hey, come here, buddy. To which Laredo is slow to that at first. Maybe not used to being asked. He's unfamiliar with the syntax. But he eventually wanders over. You're telling him to sit?
Mhm.
Do you have him face you or do you have him face her?
I have him face me because at the end I want him to put his paw
Okay.
out.
Okay. So you manage to sit with the three. You're able to get him to sort of walk around you at
Mhm.
first. As though he's both sniffing you and you're also able to guide him. Keeping that eye contact. The form of subtle, unenforced control.
Mhm.
Do you lean down to one knee to meet the paw, or do you try and get him to stand up?
I'll go down on one knee to meet the paw.
Okay. He complies. But once you are done, then what?
I'll stand up
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just look at Tessa.
A little whistle snap. And the dog beelines back to her on its haunches, panting, leaning against her side briefly. Good. You at least know how to do the simple trick. Now you need to know how to do without power. Remember, Wormslow, I did that while still maintaining the rules. No disciplines. Try that again.
Okay. So he's basically just going to try to imitate exactly what she did because he doesn't really know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going to let you do the I guess it would still be manipulation animal Ken.
Okay.
But it's going to be at a 7.
Okay.
Because now it's unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more...
I did get an 8, so we got 1.
Okay. No ones to counteract it.
Got a 2 and a 4, but no ones.
Nice. I imagine the sequence of commands is no longer a sequence, and it's just a simple come here.
Yeah.
So you are mimicking her actions.
Yeah, right.
At first, the dog seems to look up at her before she angles her head, as if giving him permission to obey someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog saunters over and then plonks down.
In his head, Artem's like, I'm so glad that worked.
Now, I want you to keep in mind, what if you'd botched?
I don't know.
The dog would have come at you either way, but well,
Good thing we don't have to find out yet.
tonight. Well, at least you got something. We can build on that. Okay, follow me. We're gonna try and work you through your paces a bit. Make sure he's following you.
Okay.
So, I think we can pan out from the montage a little bit, and we can check back in with him a little bit later. Now, let's check in with Tabby and Ellie. Last we left off, you had said about 2 plans. And I'm not sure which one was more morally reprehensible. Blackmailing a politician. Bag full of unmentionables.
I think it's. I think personally, I think it's clear which one is.
Well, since one of you
I didn't do
muted,
anything but collect them.
Oh my god.
we're just going to pretend that's laundry, and we'll leave it at that. We will not be describing the potential hilarious, awful thing that could be. We'll leave it at heinous implication. As we jump cut to Tabby stepping back out of the Broodmaster's lair, having just deposited a bag of,
What he
we'll
asked for.
say yes, recompense. We'll leave it at that. A bag full of euphemism.
Well, I think that went well.
You almost feel the vine, shroom, mossy lichen behind you bristle slightly as the door wrenches shut.
How did Orson seem with that as a deal?
He seemed unshocked, which should say a lot to you. There was a case of looking at the bag, and then closing it, and then as if that is a common thing. But the question is, did you deliver this on your own or with Ellie?
If Ellie wanted to come with, they'd be welcome to.
Ellie, would you have participated in this?
I feel like Ellie does and exits with Tabby and goes, I don't know why, but I still feel very gross.
From in there?
Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna do whatever cleaning I need to do. And also I have someone to contact about following the plan.
Mm.
You mean ours or yours specifically?
Talking about the person who decided to send an aide instead
Right.
of actually showing up himself. Yeah.
Do you have any use for me in that?
If you want to help me type a threatening email.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which I assume you have an arrangement of templates.
But
Mad Libs.
Literally, the email is, "Let's try this again." And I put like in bold the things that were done wrong.
This is good. This is good.
To be like, you arrive alone.
I feel as though there would be a font for magazine letter cutout.
Yeah, exactly.
And the first words being, I feel as though my instructions were unclear.
Unclear. Yeah.
And we can go through the montage of how the two of you, maybe in your first real giddy paired exercise, are trading back little things of, oh, and tell him this. You know, the classics. You're ugly and your mother.
You gotta throw in some italics as well.
Oh,
Like
of course.
it's just as important, but it's like different.
No, what we need to do is we need italics like of or something like that. Something that actually isn't important, but they could just read into the whole time.
Change the font at a certain point.
Oh yeah, just halfway through. Perfect.
Use basketball.
Small font, but bold, to make it more like a quiet, angry whisper.
Love it.
Hold on a moment. Just need to make a quick shift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back.
Well, so that I'll get out of your way if you've got any other goals for the evening. I think I should start collecting as well.
Yeah, I need to contact someone else for a meeting too.
Cool. Well, see you, Ellie. Thank you. And heading out of Ellie's place, Tabby will text Kate.
While you are doing that, you see a little head pop around a corner, peering at you. At first, they don't seem like they should be here. There is a cognitive dissonance that probably hits you. But it occurs to you in your time in the homeless camps that there is no age restriction. What you see before you is a little girl, likely no more than 8 years old. Thin wisps of hair under a dingy hoodie. The lesioned, ashen blue skin of someone that's been fished out of a river. An eruption of mismatched, misaligned adult teeth haunts her little face like the ossified ghost of a future she will never have. And in a tiny little voice, I'm sorry, I'm looking over at Poppy, and that's messing me up a little bit. In a little voice, ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Absolutely taken aback by that little moment. But Tabby tries to not immediately yield to any of the fight or flights emotions that are coursing through her. At the end of that moment, assuming that the girl kind of reaches a semi-stopping point,
she's trying to peer back around the wall, but you get the impression she hasn't left. It's more like she was just sort of peeking out, did her little creepy thing, and then stepped back, but has not moved.
Yeah. Tabby will kind of duck bow without taking eyes off of this little individual.
Do you get closer, or are you just trying to do this little...
I'm not approaching yet. Good evening.
Hello?
Hi. What... May I know your name?
You tell me yours first.
Will I get your name if I tell you mine?
Oh.
Doesn't seem fair.
Look around you. Life's not fair.
Touche. Well, can I help you in some way?
You can help me by telling me your name.
What, if not your name, will you give me something? If I give you my name, doesn't have to be big.
She peers around the corner again. You can see those glassy little eyes. As if waiting for you to sweeten whatever non-deal you've been making so far.
How about you just promise not to, I don't know, attack me if I tell you my name?
You see little hands grab the wall as if she's going to pull herself around, but she doesn't. I don't make promises.
Well, you... Let me see. You can call me... Allie.
I want you to roll manipulation subterfuge at a 7.
Okay. We've got points for it. Let's see. That is a botch.
Graham,
Is it
could
a
I
single botch?
suggest-
Mm-hmm.
Could
What do
I
you got?
suggest something?
Mm-hmm.
Could I shout around the corner, "Hey, Tabby!"
We'll come back to you in a moment.
Great.
Yes, it was just a single botch, no successes.
Okay. So it can always be worse.
That's what we're dealing with here. We're counting the botches,
Mhm.
rather not the successes.
I know you're lying.
Yeah. Sorry. You know what? I could. I'll give this away. You caught me anyway. As an apology for lying to you, my name's Tabby.
And she is going to creep around the corner. Not quite beelining for you. A bit of a zigzag. And she gets up real good and close. Where she just ends up looking right at you. And she's pointing up at you and gesturing for you to come on down. Do you follow suit or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The look on Tabby's face is one definitely more of resignation rather than curiosity.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Tabby. I'm Alice.
Alice.
Do you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Good, you're it. She slaps you across the face as hard as she can, and then she runs. Now, here's the
Is that
fun
aggravated?
thing. Even little baby Nosferatu have potens. And you botched, and this is your price.
For a brief moment, the bones realigned to look nice.
You feel the orbital socket rattle in place. Your vision is simultaneously singular out of one eye and double out of the other, as if it is trying to heal itself from being the little what is it? Not a jiggly eye, wobbly eye. What is it in the little sticker things that you can put on things?
A googly eye.
Googly eye. God damn, I have
The
not had
googly
enough
eye.
caffeine. Your one eye is trying to do that while the other one's trying to stay focused forward.
Ow.
Now the question is, do you play the game or do you just let that go entirely?
Yes. A peek into Tabby's brain as she makes this decision.
Mm-hmm.
She can't be sure, but
I will allow Ellie, if you want to peek out to look at this. You've just caught the tail end of the slap and run. And the words, "You're it," reverberating off the stonework.
Have I seen, met, heard of Alice before?
Yeah.
Ow.
So I guess you're it then?
Yeah.
Well, better run. He knows the place pretty well.
Ooh. Have you been it before?
You still are it, probably.
I don't know what the statute of limitations are for this game.
Tabby has a kind of a look of determination on her face.
Tick tock.
Anyway, I'm gonna close the door and double lock it. So have fun.
Bye. Tabby thinks before she makes the decision she's about to that this is not, she's not sure, but this is not a child human.
Well spotted.
She knows things. So she's definitely under the suspicion that whatever mental state Alice is in, Alice has probably been around and been what she is for quite a bit longer, much less been here for a lot longer. She's aware that this is very risky, but she is going to, at least initially, attempt to give chase.
Okay. Let's see, what would be appropriate role for chasing a little Nosferatu kid? I guess we're gonna have to go with either wits and athletics or dex and athletics.
I think it is fitting. It would be the same score,
Okay.
but I think it's fitting for Tabby to try and make use of the dexterity she's recently honed.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go with dex athletics, and I would like to spend a willpower on this.
Okay. It's good because this reminds me of something I meant to tell you before. I wanted you to write down, you should do that now, your method of repaying Orson. You don't need to expand on it, but it was a rather inspired thought process, you monster. You brilliant degen. Now, the reason why is that if you hold on to that, and when we go to replenish some willpower, that may be something you want to bring up.
Can I also spend blood on this?
Yes, you can.
And remind me, blood will... Does one of these give an extra die and one of these give one success?
The extra blood will give you another die for your dex. The willpower spend will give you one auto success that cannot be undone by a botch. So tell me how many dice you're working with now.
We are working with 6 dice.
Nice. Go for it.
What are we aiming for?
Just a 6.
Just a 6.
Yeah, leave it at a 6.
That is cocked. 3 successes.
3
not counting
successes.
the willpower one.
Well, you should always count it.
So 4 successes.
Okay. I'm going to be giving her some home turf advantage. She did real well until she didn't. It was 3 1s, so it reduced her pool of 4 successes to 1. You managed to chase her through a few corridors. Perhaps unnerved slightly at first by the jarring setup and the otherwise pristine backdrop. How these things should not go together. But you do eventually catch up to her. Now, do you give her a little tap on the shoulder? Or do you try to shoulder check this kid like you're in the Bittersweet Symphony video? The pause is not encouraging.
I think this child will respect me more if I lay into this hit.
Many parents have thought the same.
So I don't think there's no wind up, but It is not. There's no.
The
pulled,
running is the wind up, I would
Right.
say.
but there's no pulled back tag. This is gotcha.
Okay. Okay. So you're just gonna run up behind her and just.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say the score differential here allows you to do the whole homie don't play that slap. That'd have been living color. And maybe you weren't intending it. Or maybe you were, as some form of latent revenge, conscious or otherwise. She goes off her feet. And you can hear the squeegee-like slide on her face across the stonework. You can see the ruddy trail. And you hear the crying of a little girl. Don't be mad at me. You made choices.
Immediately, just all the bad sounds. Tabby does not immediately go put her hands on her, but immediately goes up next to her. Is oh fuck, oh god, I'm are you okay? Alice?
So you get right up close.
I promised that I was suspicious well before you asked that question. But I think I am not at a distance, but I'm not right next to her because child.
So I want to point out the scene here so that you can make an educated choice. You have just knocked a kid into the ground where there is obvious blood. And you are not getting close to the scene. You hear crying, complaining. I just want to be sure.
I will get next to the child.
Okay.
But still with the instincts of someone who
you are a live wire.
Was a live wire, but also was on the streets for an extended period. Don't want to be seen crowding around the child that's not hers. So we'll be at a next to, but not within arm's reach, at least calling out, "Are you okay?"
The crying warbles into a cacophonous giggle. As she rolls over onto her side. You're the first one that's caught me in a long time.
Before I congratulate myself, are you all right?
She's going to wipe at her face, and you see her nose is at a joint. She just pops it back into place.
Oh, fuck.
And it's audible. There's an additional gush of blood. And she reaches down to a couple of her shattered teeth that are on the ground. And she goes, "Ow. That hurt."
I'm sorry that hurt. The slap kind of hurt, but you didn't knock any of my teeth out.
Well, we have to be even.
I don't know if you believe in even, Alice.
The faces tonight are wild. You don't understand. We have to be even.
Well,
or it's not fair.
If you catch me, you can knock my teeth out.
She grabs hold of you.
Fuck, do I not get any chance to avoid that? Because I definitely was mentally
Fair.
set up for that.
That is fair. We're going to go with Dex and Athletics, and you still have the blood that you spent earlier.
Thank you. Do I have the willpower or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Same value of 6.
Mm-hmm.
2 successes.
Okay. She got 4. And she's going to use you to stand up in a way that is like an inchworm crawling up the side of wood. My turn. Do you actually just sort of like present?
Yep. Fucking got me.
Yeah. She's going to reach into your mouth.
Oh, this is worse.
And she just snaps one right off. I like this one.
You too, Alice.
And she just runs off.
Oh, fuck. And just wails for a good, 5 to 10 seconds of just...
Mm. Now, in the meantime, what has Ellie been doing?
Not
Other than having a panic attack of...
Other than feeling like they should just be very upset for no reason. The first thing that Ellie is going to do is Ellie is going to pull up their phone and contact suppose I should call send a call to Ava Lash.
Ah. You're going to call and not text? Or how are you doing this?
So don't keep a girl waiting 3 days before... Was it before you call or before you text? I'm going to say it was before a call, because that is assertive.
Okay. I'm glad you're making choices.
Oh my god.
So it rings a few moments. Yes.
Hi, it's Ellie.
And?
Well, I was wondering if you had time this evening for a lesson in your busy schedule.
I'm trying to think how late it would actually be right this minute. Between setting up a drop, acquiring goods, and coming back, it's been at least a few hours.
Okay. So I can also say if there's time tomorrow.
Mm. Probably the better way to go about that. So if you want to Yeah, if you want to re-ask it as...
Yeah, I'll ask it as if she has time tomorrow for a lesson.
I suppose I could try to make the time. The question is, how are you going to make it worth my while?
Well, if it's a matter of money, I have the...
Oh, darling, I can get money.
Is there a... Well, I can offer some of my services pro bono. I'm pretty good at finding people who don't wish to be found.
Oh, now that could be fun. I have an expectation of you, though. Dress for success. However you define that. Click.
Ellie looks at the hoodie that they've been wearing for the past 3 or 4 years. Shit. Where do people go clothes shopping anymore? And who knows anything about clothing shopping?
You want a little bit to think about your plan? Maybe we can come back to you.
I have an idea.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Ellie has sends a text to Kate. And it says, "Hey there, I think you owe me $200.
I will allow you to be responding to this on your way to Veritas, if you'd like to.
Is that the whole text?
There'll be a pause. The other pause is... The other thing is... Or I can call it a wash. If you help me shop for some professional clothes. Smiley face.
It's gonna take a minute or two. She's got to wait to get to a red light. Or wait till she pulls into the parking lot. So it might be even a couple extra minutes. And you're just gonna get send me your PayPal.
Ellie looks and snickers a little bit, and then sends the PayPal info. Okay,
you
that's
immediately get a notification back that it's been sent.
Well, at least I got some spending money. So Ellie's going to... Okay, I will keep thinking. I have a couple ideas, but I don't want to hold things up.
You get a very quiet series of taps and knocks on your door.
Who is it?
Ring around the rose. And we're going to cut from there.
Not again, Alice.
And I think on that note, we're going to go to break. See you soon. Welcome back to Savannah by Night. Some of our kindred have had some spooks and misadventures going forth this evening, and the second half will be no different. Let's see what choices these ones make. Kate, we pick up with you. You have just dumped your recently acquired manpanion into the back of an Uber and sent him off home. And you get on with the rest of your night, like the hard as nails lady that you are. You have responded to a text or two from Ellie, who called in their debt on you, and you were sharp to not play games.
We're done with it. No one knows anyone anything.
And I'm sure you will process the fact that they have your number at some point.
Mm-hmm. That one's going to take a little longer to figure out the best thing to do.
But I'm sure over the course of the next couple of hours, in the classroom setting at Veritas, going through processes, ways, means, procedures, and the inevitable minor exam you have to take at the end.
Question 1, do you group chat sensitive information?
Hard nope. Nice. We got some minutes for that. Anywho. Actually, I'll let you do a little roll.
Okay.
We're going to go with intelligence and make me an argument.
What is this for specifically?
This is for your test at the end of this part of orientation. So this is a written exam.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more written multiple choice, but should be fairly easy for you. We're even going to put this at a 4.
Let's just do academics. This is recalling information.
Okay.
It's standard test taking. This is a 4. Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. There are a few finer, nuanced points that elude you, but you notice that no one else is getting 100% in the class, or at least on this exam either.
Is this one of those teachers that's like, no one in my class ever gets a 100?
It's more... Some of the questions are intentionally written as double negatives. They're meant to trip people up to see how much they're paying attention. Because part of the job of security is paying attention. So this is one of those object lesson things more than it is about the test itself. The idea that you are being tricked and tripped up is meant to preclude you from doing it again. Showing you the error of the way so that you know to look for it in the future. It's almost as if this was written in such a way that you have an additional 20 minutes afterwards where the class continues as if this was all planned. So at least you're not subpar. You are passing. You are within the requisite spectrum of outcomes. But once the class is done, you know over the course that you had received another text. Innsbruck. That he will be picking you up there once you're done. So the question is, do you get changed or do you...
I will just grab those extra pieces out of my car, the non-reflective jacket, the gloves. I will say before heading to Veritas, I would have gone ahead and pulled my hair back.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, those extra items he specifically mentioned to have that I'll grab out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And as class lets out, I'll shoot him a text that we're finishing up.
Mm-hmm. As you walk out, he is already there. No longer in his suit, but still looking sharp. It is a somehow finding shape to a windbreaker. And there's no reflective quality to it. It is almost felt like, in terms of specularity, it is completely matte. He's leaning against the car. Not what you would expect from him. You don't know what his actual car is, but this doesn't seem like he would normally drive this. This is not his... well, if many venture have a power suit, many would have the equivalent of a power car, and this is not it.
I'm thinking back to when I was asked to not take my own car to construction cleanup. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's similar vibes.
This is undoubtedly one of his cars, but not his flashy statement car. This is a fairly nondescript sedan, 4-door. Dark. Kind that you really wouldn't pay a second glance to. Ready to go?
Should I keep the firearm on me?
Not tonight.
I'll go lock that into the car.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't round the car to open the door for you. This is not a social call. This is work. He doesn't have music playing. The seat warmers are on very low, but they are in fact on. And you notice that that is a common practice among many self-aware kindred. Means of maintaining that body heat with a little more ease. And as you start heading in that, well, a direction, off of Hutchinson, just to be certain, you fed?
I have.
So that's not going to be a problem.
Not at all.
There will not be a mess of blood where we are going. There will be some. There will not be a body. There will be work to do. I will be having some of my staff meeting us there. This is not a two-man job.
Is this a kindred-related situation?
No, I'm not going to start you on hard mode. This is mundane. But the key point of this is discretion. Well, the situation has been dealt with in terms of funerals already happened. They're trying to keep certain things quiet. They want the situation cleaned up so they can put the house on the market. They will not be there. This is a, well, not for you, rote task. But if you stick with it long enough, it will be. Any questions?
Not at the moment.
Unless you ask him anything or try and strike up a conversation, it is a fairly quiet drive. Now, for you, whether this is companionable is for you to decide. For him, it is professional.
I have a question for the storyteller that might lead into a character question. Are we attuned to like a heightened sense of smell, or is that only certain kindred?
Heightened senses is a Auspex ability.
Mm-hmm.
However, depending on situation, I may allow you to roll for certain things. And if I find it thematic, I'll play into it.
I'll ask him then on the drive over. Doing what you do, smell ever a problem?
Only if I'm stupid enough to not have fed.
No, I mean as far as stench, not hunger.
That you get used to. Or you find another line of work.
But it is something to steel myself for.
Now, there are those of us that are more acutely aware of our senses. And maybe that's something you'll develop over time. But human or kindred, the smell of death is always palpable. The thing that they never tell you about most crime scenes, it at once both smells like a slaughterhouse and an outhouse. This one won't be nearly as bad, as it's been a bit of time since the original incident. But being what we are, you'll catch glimpses of it. Now, I don't expect you to be some ironclad maiden. No one is the first time. Just don't add to the mess. Do you have anything else you want to ask him? Okay. Oof. You drive at first almost towards Wormslow. But then you keep going on that highway until you end up on Skidaway. And going all the way to the southern tip through the nested, gated communities, all adorned and adorning various golf courses. If you're heading to a crime scene or any site of a tragedy, this is the exact opposite of what you might expect on an episode of Cops. You eventually pull up to a fairly stately looking manor behind faux stone and gate and modern wrought iron gate. A long driveway. While not a McMansion, but not a centuries-old home either, but it is in good taste. It looks like it at least comes from maybe not old money, but sensible money. There are a couple of vans, unmarked, still with license plates, ladders, and other tools adorning it. A few people are moving them, moving things from inside vans and into a garage and through the front door. He gets out. Do you follow or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He seems to nod and acknowledge a few people. There's a solemn, grim handshake with a few people. A lot of professional courtesy going around. You're introduced to a few. More like people who seem on the crew in charge and needing to be aware of who was on their job site. While he is ostensibly the one supremely in charge, there's sub-crews. Needing to be aware of who's running around is rather important. They're not all dressed in that same black clad, but in ways that are nondescript, trying to keep things subdued. Some of them are moving things out of the house and into an unmarked style moving van. All taking care to wrap things. And you're not seeing any signs of what the issue would be just yet. He walks you up the stairs. Several doors down. Towards the back of the house. His hand reaches for the knob. He stops and looks at you. I would ask if you're ready for this, but you aren't. I would be surprised if you were. Concerned, even. And he opens the door and walks in. The posters, the style of sheets and other adornments in the room suggest a girl, college age, few trophies, few things from SCAD lying scattered around the room. But what really hits you right away is there is a curtained door leading onto a balcony. And despite that airy architecture, the room still has this acrid, acidic, almost choking air in the room. And it's a good thing you don't need to breathe. Now, while there is evidence of a life, you also see evidence of one crumbling all around you. Things are scattered, broken. Do you want to make any observations?
Yeah, I'd like to take a look around.
Okay. There is no sign of struggle. beyond personal. You find a variety of paraphernalia, which we won't be describing in any detail. It's enough to know that it exists. And exists in excess. This has obviously overtaken the rest of the room. Do you look around more, or what would you like to do?
I'll take a couple of steps in,
Mhm.
kind of look at, see what I can learn, and then kind of glance back at him to see like what his expectations of me are.
Mhm. He had brought up some garbage bags, and there are already a few packing bins, plastic packing bins, sort of nested into each other, and a stack of lids matching them next to the wall. And you see him start to, not unceremoniously, but in a way that's almost practiced, despite this not being a room he's familiar with. He is starting to pick things up. Some things he's sorting into garbage. Some things he's sorting into storage. He doesn't seem to be directing you as much as letting you just process. And if your earlier exam is anything to go by, and your own education in Kindred Life, everything is a test. While there's an expectation of shock and process, it's more a question of how long you take. Or if you leave, and if you leave, do you come back?
I won't leave.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to try to start noticing the bins versus the bags. Start looking through the room and trying to categorize saving and storing the life and removing what wasn't.
Okay. It's a fairly methodical, time-consuming process. You know that in likelihood this would take more than just minutes or hours. And the people downstairs have probably been at the house for a few hours already. The room was left on purpose. Or they purposely avoided it. As he seems to express no discomfort, but a proficient, I want to say comfort, but professional ease with the situation. He's not saying anything. He's not telling you to hurry along. He's not even directing you.
Is there anything in the room which would, try to put it in a polite way, need a more methodical cleaning or removing?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you want me to roll for keeping composure against something like that.
I'm going to leave this up to you if that's something you want to chance. We don't have to go into that part of it if you don't want to.
I kind of want to leave that up to chance because as steeled and icy as Kate can be, it's not ever had to have been because of this. This is a new form of trying to keep composure.
Okay. Let's have you roll Before we go into this any further, well, we did discuss before the start of session the nature of this scene. We are going to do a little double check to see how people are feeling at the moment. So if I can just get a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to have you roll self-control and courage. We're just going to make it a flat 6. I don't know what those tally up to, but tell me now if you want to do a willpower spend.
You said we're doing a 6.
Mm-hmm.
3 successes.
Nice. Through the collation of someone's short life into various bins or garbage bags, beginning to rip up carpet, that would be just the easiest way to get rid of the unfortunate memory left behind of said things. Eventually, despite your lack of necessity for breathing, you do feel the inkling of wanting to step outside for a minute. You don't have to. The urge is there. But you can push through it if you would like. You're not feeling the need to retch, you're not feeling a panic attack, but just a moment. But you choose if you're going to allow yourself to do that.
Yeah, I think whether it's after tying up a bag or putting a lid on a bin, stepping out onto that balcony for just a second, taking what would have been the equivalent of like a deep breath, and then stepping back in.
Okay. Before you step back in, if you look out, down below you get a semblance of how this actually ended. That the final moments happened not in that room, and there was a reason the balcony door was open. And no one has had the heart or the emotional fortitude to come in and close the door since. But we can leave it at that. And you can step back in.
I think as I step back in, I will close the balcony door.
Now, I'm assuming you go back to diligent work.
Mm-hmm.
This does take the better part of the rest of the evening. The part of the evening that you all, as kindred, tend to allocate to being out of the haven. You still have plenty of time to get back to your car and to drive home. This was taken into consideration. Do you say anything to him during the process of this or on the car ride back?
I think on the car ride back, it'll just be be silent for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the chance to see what you get to do. I don't think it was quite what I was expecting.
It never is. And yet after a while, it both is and isn't. But you held your own, which is more than I can say for most. Now the question is, this is on the lighter end of things. If that is too much for you, I will understand and respect that. But I need to know. Because it only gets worse from here.
Have a night to think about it.
Take all the time you need. I do not want you to rush an answer and regret it afterwards. But I will require one eventually.
Of course.
You say or ask him anything else. It is a silent ride. You do hear his phone get a couple of texts that he does not answer. Or at least he doesn't type a response to. He very quickly looks at it and then puts it back. When you finally get into a more natural rhythm of proper roads and not just the ultra rich suburbanite homes, and you find a proper stoplight, it does take a moment to respond, but he is discreet. You are not seeing what he is texting to anyone or who it is.
I'll even be polite and look out the window as he does.
Eventually, you do get back to Veritas and the parking lot. And he parks near your car because he saw you put something aside there. So he knows which one it is. And he doesn't just let you get out and hop over to your own car. He does get out with you. Good work tonight, Fulton.
Thank you.
One way or another, I do hope to hear an answer soon. And I will respect whatever it is. I just require one.
Thank you. We will hear back. But I want to make sure I give it the appropriate time that it deserves.
As one should. Have a good night.
Good evening.
He will get in his car. And like everything else you've seen him do, smooth, practiced. As if putting it on a rail that is invisible. I assume you start to head back?
And Kate, who normally has music playing in her car, even if it is low, turns it off for the drive home.
Is there any kind of group chat or anything that she engages with?
She'll glance to see if any came in throughout the night. I know pre-getting her teeth knocked out, Tabby was going to send one, so I don't know if there's something that we can wrap back around to later for Kate to look at and potentially answer.
We can do that now if that's something that Tara wants to engage with.
You're
If you unmute. The teeth removal was real.
I like to think that it has taken this long for Tabby to recover. But once she has finally gathered herself up again, there would be a private message to Kate. Hi, Miss Fulton. I would like to collect on those Elysium lessons.
You wouldn't say that in a text.
Thank you. I would like to collect on those lessons you made a deal for.
Tabby, Kate or Fulton is fine.
Understood.
I'll check my schedule, but I promise to get back with you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You don't get a response to that one.
Now we'll do the round table afterwards. Is it okay if we pan back from that? Okay. Slight tone shift as we pan over to Poppy.
Woo!
Understatement.
You doing okay? Okay. Now, last we left off, we had, well, off was certainly an appropriate word.
Correct.
There was a little life drawing private model moment. Is that true, or is that just more of the joke that you wanted to leave off with at in the last session?
No, that's totally true. I think Poppy would find a great delight in posing.
Mm.
Yeah.
You would find that she would have been very shy, obviously, to try and get you to adjust any particular pose, and it is very much up to you to arrange yourself.
Right.
Even when there's moments where she wants to do some kind of adjustment, she's just yep, and she just goes right back to it.
I think Poppy will do her best to make her feel comfortable as much as she can, and hope that in the more charitable is not the word I'm going for, but it's the one that's coming to mind. In the charitable mind of Poppy is that this is really good for her. I'm glad she's doing this. While she's just having, a fun night, and getting to feel a little more like herself blood-wise. Yeah, so she's doing her best to make her feel comfortable and then uncomfortable in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you would see that her cheeks look like they want to burst.
Yeah. I think at some point after it's been maybe, she's done a few figure sketches of Poppy, Poppy will say, okay, now it's my turn. And she'll, kind of take the sketchbook and
I'm having
if she will
flashbacks
allow.
to adolescence of Utena, but we'll come back to that
Oh
another
my
day.
God. Real. But yeah, I think she will, again, in her attempt to make her new pal feel a little more a little more
I don't think pal
agency,
would be the
autonomy.
way.
No, pal is not what I mean. Her new acquaintance.
Project.
What's that?
Toy.
Her new project.
Body? Project? Toy? Yes. There we go. Toy. Toy sounds nice and fun. I think she will try.
Toy.
Squeaky toy. Yes,
Mm.
exactly. I think in an attempt to make to add like a balance, she will try to get her squeaky toy, whose name she's still trying to figure out how to model, Would she have figured it out? Would it have been in the sketchbook?
It would have been
Could that
on
be
the
part of
front.
why
Yeah, that could be
she
part
takes
of it.
Okay. Great. Does she see it?
Does she see you purposely looking at the name? Oh,
No.
such a
Oh
great
God.
job, Heidi.
Heidi? That's how you pronounce it, right?
I would like to pretend that Poppy is a little more smooth than that.
She is.
So I will allow the surreptitious glance.
Thank you.
Now the real trick is getting her to pose for you. What?
Well, I mean, you're the artist. You should know what it's like to be on the other side, right?
If you thought her face was red before, she cannot make eye contact. But there's this leftover dozy smile of how what is often called the kiss, the bite. how that made her feel.
I think Poppy will try to capitalize on that kind of potential like calm exhilaration that comes from that to try and see if she can get Heidi to kind of escape from her comfort zone in this way.
Mm-hmm. I would say that the way to start this would be just arrange her as she is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you pretend you're like a doll or a figure, and I'm just going to place you where you need to go, and then you can breathe within that form. There's something lovely and organic about that.
Now, here's the question to make this all kinds of broken for her. Do you leave her glasses on or do you take them off?
Oh. I think she leaves the glasses on.
With the goal
They
of that
suit
being
her.
the only thing eventually?
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, if she's down. Of course, consent is key. In this aspect, though I will steal her blood.
You already
In
have.
this aspect, yeah. This is being a vampire is weird with morals, but yeah.
It's a lot of gray.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of gray. This would take a bit of cajoling, but the idea of starting with clothes modeling would be the vector for this. I'm going to have you do 2 rolls.
Okay.
One is I guess craft? Maybe?
Crafts. I got nothing in crafts.
Really? I thought that's where all your artistic expression went to. You don't have anything there?
I don't.
That is peculiar.
That's funny. I did go to art school.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have to take a look at that because that might be a goof of some sort.
Probably. That's probably my fault.
Because I would have... Yeah, that's strange. I would have thought... So where did you put everything? Would that be in performance?
Performance and etiquette.
Okay.
But that has to do a lot with how she was trained in her new on life, I think.
Until we address this, I'm going to treat performance for now as your crafts.
Okay.
And we'll sit down maybe over the weekend if we get time and
sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I think that might be somehow
you can judge it.
So let's go with dexterity and performance. That will be how you do your life drawing, how good it is.
Okay, here we go.
We'll put that at a 5 because this is something you are quite trained in.
Okay.
You're probably a little more advanced than, we'll say generous and say first year art student.
I got 3 successes. I got 1.
Okay. So 2 successes.
2 successes.
So this is just your artistic rendering of the mouse.
The mouse in repose.
Now, we're going to go with, this is going to sound really terrible, manipulation. And because you're trying to cajole her, I'm assuming with a certain amount of, see how lovely you look.
Yeah. Very much so.
What would be the additional rule here? So manipulation and what?
I think this maybe even, the performance of it, of the artist kind of looking over the clay, looking over something that is in their hands, maybe. There's something kind of Pygmalion about the whole thing.
Ooh, that's a fun word choice. It's either... I want you to roll something other than performance here. I would say manipulation, empathy, because you're preying on the emotion.
Manipulation and empathy. Yeah, that makes sense too. Molding her already flustered emotion.
Some sort of blushy clay.
Blushy clay, a nice rose, which is perfect for me. I do good with roses. Okay. That is literally the same thing. 3 successes, 1-1, so 2 successes.
Okay. I would say that if you are trying to accomplish a nude life drawing model, this is going to be a case of getting into a lot of proximity and showing, like looking over her shoulder as you hold the sketchbook, showing her, drawing attention to certain features.
Yeah.
Trying to show her what you find attractive about her so that she can see through your eyes her own qualities.
Exactly.
You absolute manipulative monster.
I learned from the best.
He's not talking about you, Sam.
No.
I'm aware.
What would help her is like and like. A little bit of mirrored lack of clothing. That would be the way of luring her into a certain amount of, not maybe confidence, but comfort.
Certainly.
Confidence.
I have heard of artists who paint portraits in the nude. And they're like, do you mind if I do a nude portrait? And the person's like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then the artist takes off their clothes.
I have stories about that.
Yeah, I went to theater school. We had a weird semester.
Lawsuits are not uncommon in the art community. We're going to leave it there.
There it is.
Okay. But it's different when people are of mutual interest.
Correct.
So eventually there is a mutual disrobing. And I imagine for a little while, maybe not a long while, each of you holding different sketch pads, her hiding a little more behind hers, but just a little more sheepishly giddy as she looks over and she's trying to draw you. Now this game goes on back and forth for a little while, but that's not your aim for this evening.
No, we have a party to get to.
But now that you have stripped her down to her essence, now's the fun part of getting her equally tarted up with you to go out.
Exactly. I think if she has a computer or a speaker or something in the room, Poppy will, once things have kind of stopped with the sketching, we'll put on some music, like just, typical pump up, let's go out music. Maybe it is the Brat album, because it's an excellent album. And this would make sense for our time period. This is a period piece. So I think she will put that on, and we'll commence with the kind of montage of her helping her maybe put on like a tiny bit of makeup, not too much.
Less is
says
more.
the person in full beat, but not like a crazy amount of makeup, something that really enhances her natural vibe. And then the outfit that they had picked out earlier.
Which was, I guess more like, it was like jeans, but it was like a created crop top out of something she already had.
Yeah, it was jeans, and then there is an ant crawling on my desk. Hold on, I'm so sorry. This is not a metaphor. Maybe it is. But yeah, we picked a jeans and a shirt that could be like made to be a little cuter, a little more chic by way of crop top, or like a little tie, or a French tuck will do wonders.
Now, do you get bold and cut the shirt, or do you just tie it?
If she, I think if it looks like if Heidi is exhilarated by her taking out the scissors to cut the shirt, then she'll go for it. Because I imagine like the shirt's already on her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like if it's like a hot little moment, then she'll go for it. If she kind of deems it as like maybe this is not the time, I don't think she will. So she'll try to read what Mouse is feeling. Heidi.
I think it's a case of how much eye contact you give her while you engage in this behavior.
Oh yeah. No, I think if she's down, I think it's like full eye contact, like scissors, like
Yeah, I
this
imagine.
is kind of freaky, but like, like tracing the blade perhaps like along where she would cut. She was like, could I just like right here, just give it a little trim, a little hem?
We'll skip the innuendo a little bit because that could be just a minefield. Eventually you do hem this shirt because it's clearly not the top.
Mm-mm. Not today.
Mm-hmm. And you do bounce on out of here. But the question
We
is,
do.
you leave her in the pigtails or do you let her hair come down?
Oh, we're taking the hair down. If and the thing is, if her hair was in pigtails,
Mm-hmm.
was it like braids or pigtails? Or
Ooh,
was it
braids.
braided pigtails? Braids. Okay. Then the hair comes down because we got a nice beachy mermaid wave, and that's a vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like teach her how to
Just
flip her
stare.
hair a little bit to get the volume on.
I imagine it's a bit of a trick because she's probably used to not doing that, and doing
Mhm.
that with glasses for the first time is a bit of a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Which I imagine you're seeing them about to launch into the stratosphere, and you're like, nope, nope, maybe we don't do that. That's advanced stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you're both all tarted up. You're heading on out.
Yeah. Where's the party?
And she kind of nervously because she realized like, oh, the fantasy world is over now. We're going outside. Her dear
Real.
penthouse moment is over. And she has to lead you across campus
Mhm.
to a different residence building. And she's trying not to reach for your hand, but she's also feeling just a little self-conscious the second that the air hits her skin. And she's sort of doing that like hug one arm around her kind of thing.
Oh, that's we're not gonna have that. And Poppy will actually say that out loud. She'll say that, go, oh, we're not doing that. And she'll grab her arm and like pull her in closer.
And much like your very first interaction with her at Chuck's bar, there's that little like giggle squeak.
Aptly named
Mhm.
Mouse.
And you make your way across campus. And you realize that the reason you're not seeing a lot of cars is because there is an actual parking structure rather than parking along all the buildings.
Nice.
So you're hearing a little more noise from that building as some of the windows are open. And it seems more like maybe everyone at the hive of SCAD, they're at this one building right now. Or at least whoever
Cool.
is here for the summer.
Very cool.
And you see some of the rooms are throwing lights. Like somebody just hooked up like a leaf light or something to whatever awful EDM bad club music rip-off MP3 that they could find is riffing off of that, probably giving someone an epileptic fit that was not prepared for it.
Oh God.
But it's sort of in pockets. Like, it's not all just one floor. It's not the entire building. It's just this scattering of activity.
Okay.
And as you head on in, there are the things that you would expect. People playing all kinds of like beer pong and other alcohol-related college games that nobody does once they can actually buy their own beer.
Mm-hmm.
The normal smell of substances that wouldn't draw any real alarms.
Great.
Mm-hmm. So, typical college dorm life. But you also kind of get that one weird kid who's probably just making ravioli.
Yes, in some random kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, that was Smoggles in college. Putting that out there.
Would you like a second to rebut?
It was spaghetti. Thank you very much.
Or tortellini salad.
Or a tortellini salad as a treat.
Either way, all Chef Boyardee. Now,
Did he hold it in his pockets?
Oh my God. Pocket spaghetti.
Would never do that. Italian family would never. Absolutely not.
okay. So you get these scattering of sounds and smells. Some people dancing, some people playing party games, some playing some very nerdy ones, some playing like artsy games. But like what's the thing I'm thinking of? Where you draw something on Pictionary, but like hard mode.
I don't know Pictionary hard mode.
Is it like the Telegram kind of game where you
I'm
pass
thinking
it
more
and then someone has to describe it?
Where someone has to go through the thesaurus to find some $10 word.
Ooh, that's fun.
Draw juxtaposition.
That actually sounds really fun.
Yeah, I had to do that in high school. It sucked. I hated art class. So I'm taking it out on this building here.
That's fair.
But you find scattered pockets of parties and some people that she knows. It's not all one party as much as it's one amalgamation of micro parties becoming one sort of undulating or I was gonna say orgasm. That's not the right word. Organism.
No, that was earlier.
That was, yeah, with your scissoring, we got it.
You get it.
And she seems to know some of these people. She is saying hi. She is stopping with it, but she does also lean a bit shy in the sense of, you remember what she was like at the bar, where she was not uncomfortable, but comfortable being a wallflower.
Gotcha. Poppy will also try to just say hello to all of her friends and try to support in that way, while also just kind of standing, seeing if there are any interesting people around.
I will say that you recognize, well, maybe you don't recognize, but they would recognize you as her friends that she waved to as you were luring her out of the bar the other night.
Yeah, and Poppy will pull up. Oh, good to see y'all again.
Yeah, you kind of get that little, like there's a lot of just giving her shit. But
Poppy
it's
will
a little bit more,
and be a model about it.
Yeah, they're giving her shit in a way that's like, damn girl, good for you.
Yeah.
Like the kind of people who are like, we're gonna give you shit, but you're ours.
Right. We love that. That's good. What does Heidi seem to want to do when she's there? Does she want to go get a drink? Like, I think Poppy will kind of like follow what Heidi wants to do, kind of just
She's
to
falling
see.
into a codependent trap, but she's trying to seem cool in front of you, so she's trying to see what you want to do.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah,
I
remember,
think
you're the top in this situation. We've discussed this.
it's so true. I think Poppy will kind of lean over and be like, "Do you want me to get you a drink?"
Yeah, okay.
Sure, what do you want?
And it's like she hadn't processed the concept beyond the question. She's like, I don't actually know what they even have here.
I'll make you something cute. I'll be right back.
And she actually, for a moment, goes, I thought I was cute.
Poppy will go boop and then leave.
And there's that, like, it's not like withdrawal as much as like the inward giggle. And she turns around and the friend's like, ugh. Just finding
Good.
all of this insufferable.
Good. Poppy will take the long way around to find beverages, just kind of scouting out
Now, when you
potential
say
other people that are
beverages,
yummy.
yeah, it's going to say
Beverages.
people.
Well,
Mhm.
yes. Yes and yes. Beverage for me, beverage for her kind of vibe.
Okay. So
She'll
the
take her
question
time with it.
is, while you are taking your time, you're scoping the place out, as you are wont to do. You also know how to make quick scan of a place. You know how to find the marks.
Yeah.
More than most. You know how to find the little pockets. You know where to look for where cameras would be. Whether or not any of them are on, that's a different story, but you don't typically take those chances.
Wait, are we not in like a suite where
Like
people
this is
what
like the building itself. Like
oh,
these
the
are like,
building
so
itself.
there's common areas. Some people are having fun within
Okay.
not bedrooms, that's the wrong way to word that, but like dorm setups where it's just
Okay.
it's 2 beds in a room and then 2 rooms and then a common room
Gotcha.
and then leading into a hallway and then that's just stacking back and
Okay.
forth. And then there's just common rooms in between that.
Got it. Okay, in that case, thinking about being seen and cameras, etc., Poppy will try to find the potheads. They're gonna
You're gonna have to
be
narrow that down.
okay, fine.
This
Yeah,
is
we are
art
at
school.
SCAD. Yes. Poppy is trying to find the room in which people are congregating for that activity of smoking the devil's lettuce. Because I would imagine they would try to be out of sight of the cameras because this is Savannah.
It's less, more cameras would be around like entrances.
Okay.
Or I think it's probably stairwells.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty easy. The problem is that you would need to narrow it down.
Okay.
You have to find your specific bliss that you would follow your nose toucan Sam style towards.
Yeah. I mean, she's gonna look for people that look, I was about to say artsy, alternative. It's like, no, it's fucking SCAD. Like chill. She's looking for
You find that one kid making the ravioli.
yeah, that's exactly who I want to see. Gotta see a man about some ravioli. It's a good sign.
Well, you want to get some of that ragu.
Don't we all? Don't we all in this economy? Yeah, so she'll sidle on up to the person making ravioli.
He seems to be doing this in the kitchen of his like common room dorm, or his dorm's common room. And he's doing it in large batches as if he's just doing this for the whole floor.
It's
Like
amazing.
maybe he got into a vibe and some people like, hey man, I brought you mine. Could you make the whole thing? Like, yeah. Like, or that's his contribution to the party. Is who he went out and just scammed a whole bunch of cans of ravioli and he's making it as just dorm stoner food.
My hero, Helena, in real life, my hero.
There's
I
also
think
the smell
she'll
of garlic because he's going pro mode. He's making garlic bread,
oh,
like stacks
damn.
like of garlic butter on normal like sandwich bread in the oven.
It works.
He's mass producing this awful.
It works. Okay, cool. Yeah. Poppy will follow her nose over to this person. And from behind, we'll say, oh, you have your priorities straight, don't you?
Hell yeah.
How long have you been camped out here over the stove?
I don't know. I lost track of people bring me the stuff I need though. I don't need to go nowhere.
You do this at every party?
Every party that happens here. It's a lot easier.
That's amazing.
Besides, I get girls like you wandering in all the time, so it's clearly working out.
Listen, as they say, you know, the way to a girl's heart is through her stomach.
You audible?
Absolutely.
Around these parts, they call me Chef Boy Howdy.
I'm sorry?
I said that out loud. You heard it. Don't make me say it
Boy
again.
howdy.
Boy howdy.
Boy howdy. Okay. Is there another name by which you go, or is this just your persona this evening?
You see this kid kind of deflate just a little bit because he tried to take a big swing and it did not work.
Mm-mm.
It's Todd.
We're gonna go with boy howdy, I think, baby.
Oh, all of this works so much better in my head. And he's just turning towards this rote task so he doesn't have to make eye contact.
Poppy will kind of, with her bowl of ravioli,
Mhm.
kind of lean closer to be like, hey, do you know where I could get some weed?
You're in a college dorm, man, like everywhere.
You know, but like, is there someone that has the good stuff?
You want a little oregano with that ravioli? Because I
Todd. Yes. Yes, please. Some oregano, Chef Todd, Chef Boyardee, Boy Howdy.
Okay, first it was cold, now we're both making it weird. All right, you got cash?
You know. I mean, yeah.
So-
Are you the one with the fresh oregano here? I'm impressed. You must have multiple talents, not just the ravioli kind.
You a cop?
Do I seem like one?
A little bit, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not from here. I'm from Connecticut. She like rolls her eyes.
I would say roll like for deception, but no.
No, she's
No,
just from
no one would
Connecticut.
say that as a lie.
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
It's almost as embarrassing as someone calling themselves Chef Boy Howdy.
It's true.
Yeah, so we
We're
just
one
go,
for one.
all right, how much you want? And as long as you got cash on you, he will deal.
Great.
Now the question is, with this exchange, are you looking for more of a liquid currency at the moment?
More of a liquid currency at the moment.
Are you going to go feed on this guy or not?
I would like to,
Mhm.
just because it's gonna feel great.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just all weed and ravioli.
Yeah, like that's gotta be good for you, you know? Um, yeah, I think she will and be like, hey, when you get a second, we can go like light up over
Mhm.
here. Wherever she'll gesture in a general direction.
You know, the great thing about his setup is that this is part of a dorm room. You could just lean over when he's slaving over the stove and just no.
Oh, great. Okay. He's not in a room surrounded by the rest of the party.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Then yeah, she'll go in for a little snacky snack, a little hit of Todd. Yeah.
Good thing I didn't call him Bong.
Bong. A little hit of Todd, last name Bong.
Oh God, his name could have been Bong Jovi.
Your next NPC. Your next NPC.
I feel like I just broke Martel for a second. Like he looks like he just had a hard reset.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Okay. Now the question is, do you take a little off the Todd or
Just a little off the Todd. Just off the Todd. Just the Todd.
just the Todd? So we're going for a 1 or a 2?
Just a 1.
Just a 1? Okay.
Just 1.
Is it getting topped up?
She's sampling.
She's sampling. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how quick did you make this? This entire interaction, how quick did you make it? Because you were going to
She
get
tried
her
to
a
make
drink.
it. She tried to make it speedy so that she could take the ravioli back to Mouse with a drink and be like, "I'm so sorry, I got sidetracked. Here," and then she'll feed it to her. Like, she has a plan.
Okay.
If she depleted her, she's gonna here.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kate could probably learn something from how to dump the man panting into an Uber.
That was a one-time occurrence. Sadie and I cooked together.
Faded. But yeah, you're able to do that. I'm assuming you brought her a drink. You
Yeah,
explained
I
your
found the-
sidetracking. Any
Yeah.
additional time was I brought you food.
Brought you food. Here, open up. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I am assuming there's a little bit of dancing that happens and you're scoping out the rest of the place. Are you looking for another meal or are you sated off of your hit of Todd?
I think she wants one more snack this evening.
Mhm.
She's trying to really just, I know. She's trying to really sample scat, as it's been told to her by multiple people now that this is kind of the Toreador place. So she's trying to really get a feel for it, and see what she can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just gonna make this a simple. I think about how to do this because I'm assuming you're trying not to have Heidi see.
Correct.
You're trying to do the sitcom thing of having 2 dates at once.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna do. Ooh, what would be interesting here? Wits and stealth.
Great.
And we're going to do this at a 7.
At a what?
At a 7.
Okay. Ha 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 ha. 2 failures, no ones, but I did get a 10, so I get to explode that one.
Okay. Sorry, can you say that again? I feel like I brain farted
I
there
had
for a second.
two failures, 4 successes, one of which was a 10, so I
Okay.
exploded that one.
But no ones.
No ones.
Okay, that's yeah. Just
5
checking.
successes.
5 successes. Okay. So the question is, are you trying to get topped up? Which we can do. The problem is, and you're gonna have to decide this.
Mhm.
Do you do this with any of Heidi's friends, or do you go outside her immediate friend circle?
I think she'll try to go outside the immediate friend circle.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want it to be messy, what she's doing. So she'll maybe look for a group that's like slightly cooler or slightly less cool than Mouse and her friends?
I'd say you have a lot of latitude in either direction.
Nice. Okay, so she'll try to go for a cooler group then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We won't go into the specifics of that since we already focused on Todd for a while.
Yes.
So we'll say that you're... How far down are you right now?
I need only one more
Only one more.
to
Easily
be
done.
topped up.
If you really wanted, you could have done that to Todd, but you were sampling.
I'm sampling. I'm trying out what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm. Microdose of Todd. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to get up to full. Now the question is, well, you're able to do this without Mouse being aware or anyone else being aware. Do you leave her languish or do you go right back to her?
Oh, I'll go back to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to her. Yeah.
Because what I'm
and
trying
I'll
to
spend
figure
their
out,
yeah.
is whether or not you are using her to socially climb. Are you abandoning her at the party and using her as your ticket in? Or is
She's
she
less like my
is she your
ticket
girl?
in. She's my membership, right? She's not my ticket, she's my membership. So she gets me in and she's going to get me into other events and other things. And then if I wanted to upgrade my membership at some point, I will. But right now, I'm making sure that I'm seen in some ways and that others are. I'm kind of still getting the lay of the land, I think.
But you are consistently returning back to her. You are being seen
Yes.
with her. You are socializing with her.
Yes.
You are, I'm not going to say handsy, but...
I'm there physically.
Okay. Well, the question is, how would you like to leave the event? Because that eventually has to end.
I think Poppy will look at her phone and be like, "Oh my God, it's so late. I gotta get going. I'll text you. This was really fun. It was great to see all of you again." To the friend group. And she'll leave.
You don't walk her back to the room. You're just saying goodbye.
Well, if the party's still happening and she's with her friends and she seems like she's having a good time. But if the party's winding down, she'll walk her back to the room.
It's winding down in
Safety.
pockets.
Okay. Then she'll ask you, "Hey, do you want a walk back to your dorm?"
She's very quick to say yes.
Great. Yeah, so she'll escort her back to the dorm. Won't come in to the room. And we'll give her a lingering kiss on the cheek and say, "Au revoir, mademoiselle. I'll text you."
Okay. And I think the final shot of tonight's session will be of her sitting down on her bed, lying down, and flipping over in the sketchbook. At first lingering on a page that she drew of you, and then trying to draw something new from memory. Or wish fulfillment, who knows? You're not in the room to know. But we'll do a very quick amount of going around the table and getting some final thoughts. As we will be finishing out this evening, we'll be picking up with the next night on the following week. Let's start with Poppy. How was it, girl?
She had fun. That was very fun for her. It's nice to feel like she's on top, pun intended, I suppose. Um, and feel like she has control of a situation and like a large group of people in a way that she's able to kind of wade through um, with ease. And I think that's a nice juxtaposition to how she was feeling um, when she first entered into Wormslow and Elysium, where it was, stuttery and stops and starts. Whereas in this kind of situation, she goes, no, this is fluid. This is exactly who I am and what I'm meant to be. So I think she's feeling really affirmed in that experience as she's driving away in her Lexus. Yeah.
Has it entered into her head yet? The patterns that made her being handed down.
I don't think they have yet, to be honest. I think Helena knows this. I don't think she's aware of this yet.
What's
She's
changed
young.
between when she was crying in the bathroom after she fed on her the first time and now?
A sense of control. I think she's caught the bug a little bit. And the kind of beauty of orchestrating the people around her is intoxicating to her. And I think she's kind of in the high of that. And in some ways that high means that she feels removed from her less than gentle past.
Well, as she is high on both ravioli and Todd, we will leave her on that note. Let's go on over to Ellie. Now, scenes being what they were, you didn't get to do as much tonight, and I do apologize. But how did Ellie feel about setting up a blackmail letter or a threatening blackmail letter with a co-conspirator? And how did Ellie ultimately feel about how Tabby decided to maliciously comply with Orson?
Ellie learned two things. One is that Tabby can be very fun to co-conspire with, and also is creative and in sometimes a little bit of a scary way in terms of thinking of solutions to things that Ellie wouldn't necessarily think of and or go to. So there's a little bit of there's a little bit of interest and also maybe a slight bit of fear there going into that.
Bit of carousal.
Yeah, there you go.
You have achieved part of a directive that has been given to you. And I'm sure aspects of that you're going to have to contend with going forward.
Yes.
And we can talk a little bit more about that off camera. But that's something Ellie's going to have to now consider.
Yes.
Let's check in with Tabby.
It is not a night in Savannah if Tabby is not getting rocked in some way. But despite having a tooth pulled from her mouth, there's an ownership to it. It was part of a event that she decided to be a participant in, and in some ways won. Arguably, definitely didn't come out on top, but
You didn't lose.
Didn't lose. And tooth will grow back. It's not like she's posing for any cameras. So, felt good to reconnect with Ellie. Obviously, there's going to continue to be complicated thoughts there, but had a moment of actual just fun and conspiring. And did, at least in her mind, overcome what could have been a very dangerous interaction with spooky Nosferatu child. One thing that Tabby was considering was this child could just lead her to a place and then leave her there. And then enemies come out, it's like, what are you doing here? So surviving that and only losing a tooth was a win.
Positive outlook. How do both of our Nosferatu players feel about the little Nosferatu girl that seems to bully them?
Much neutralized, obviously still chaotic and dangerous, but didn't lose the initial interaction, which counts for a lot.
As long as Ellie is in their room, they are safe.
This is that childhood myth of as long as you're under the sheets, you're safe. And there's
Ellie's
a clip
like,
from
she
Robot
can't come
Chicken.
in without permission.
Yeah.
It only applies to Alice. Alice is the only one who can't.
Now, something to consider. Potence is an ability that is irrespective of size. Now, I'm not sure how that relates, but I just thought it was a funny aside.
I don't like how you made this into a horror game.
I also like to think that
That's why we're here.
We're literally vampires.
for
So
little bit of flavor, I also like to think that teeth weren't knocked out initially from Alice's smack because Tabby has fortitude.
Yeah. Let's see how long it lasts.
That's it. That's the only occasion where it will save her.
No, that's a good headcanon.
Saved her smile.
Preserved it, anyways.
Maintained it.
Now, let's check in with Artem.
Yeah, so bit nerve-wracking this night. This is the first time he's walked into a situation with like someone more on the elder side of the scale, where he didn't think he had like an advantage in any way. Like he didn't think he'd had a good word or anything. So he was very he was very glad to pass that second test. And he'll be doing a lot more just like mimicking essentially as the night goes on, because he knows animals better than most people, but he doesn't know how to do this. This is like a, more on the civilized side of animal ken, and that is not something he has a lot of experience with. So he's a little on edge, but seems like it's going okay. So
he may not have like a positive word or it's like someone having spoken up for him, but he doesn't have anything going against him either.
yeah.
So in a way, it's more neutral than maybe he's been used to so far.
Right.
Worst ways to be.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses on that. Because we need a new neonate Disney princess.
Damn right.
If there's nothing else, I can move on. So I really want to check in with Fulton and how all that was.
So before Kate goes to sleep, she is going to sit down at her computer, open the local news page, and is going to read over every wreck, every murder, anything along those lines that has been reported. And then think about the fact that's not even what Innsbruck is cleaning up, because what he cleans doesn't get reported.
Perhaps yes, perhaps no. You would be under the impression in that particular case there was a funeral, there was an obituary. And you also know that there's often euphemistic language with how such things are stated. But we won't be going into such details because that could be a little heavy. But that would be perhaps the next part of her study on the subject of looking at deaths, looking at certain patterns. Because you can't always make something disappear, but you can sanitize the reporting. And while that wasn't strictly what happened here, you know that's at least part of the equation with him. But stepping aside from those practicalities, how is Kate doing with the scene itself?
She's thinking about how he said, "You're never really prepared." I found that to be very true. She is trying to detach and leave it at work. In this case, it's a little bit harder. It's different than when she saw her first court execution. That was someone who was a part of this life and had broken the rules, and those were consequences. And the scene that she saw, well, you're going to have some people that say that's the consequences of those kinds of actions. It's very different. And part of her wants to go bury these feelings, a different strong emotion, but it's too late to call up Sadie or Barry. She has to get ready for a very different kind of internship the following night.
Well, we'll come back to the logistics of how such meetings are going to be set up. But in the meantime, if there's nothing further to add, we'll be closing out tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next week.